Welcome to the other side of the coin. So, I thought I'd do a video on a couple of the press conferences that have just taken place and just, my thoughts about Chelsea versus Liverpool during the weekend. So, first of all, the press conference of Klopp, he had a lot of praise for Frank Lampard, a lot of praise for the young players that we have right now and the different style that we're playing. He was saying that he found it quite interesting that how we can manage to play many different styles. We've obviously played 4-2-3-1, and in recent times against Wolves we've brought back the three at the back and the wing backs and whatnot. So he found that quite interesting that we're able to play many different styles with the kind of players that we have. He was praising our youth players that we have as well, so that was good to see that another manager was praising our academy products that we have. And he was finally praising Frank Lampard and the kind of job that Frank's doing at the moment. And he was saying that how well he did last season with Derby, and obviously he's doing quite well this season. But he did mention that it is the Premier League, and it's a very, very tough league. Now, on to Frank Lampard. Lampard talked about quite a few things actually, but four things that I want to touch on is, first of all, Mason Mount. He said that Mason, obviously, he trained during the week post the injury against Valencia. However, the final assessment will be made just before the match. We've still got 24 hours to go before the match, so a bit more time to recover. But at the same time, he was saying that they won't risk him if it's not 100%, which makes sense. That it's a long season. You don't want to keep a player like Mason Mount to be injured for a long time. We need him in the field. So, if it means that he misses this match, he misses this match, but he needs to be completely fit before he can come back. Next up is N'Golo Kante. He's in the same boat as Mason Mount, I suppose, in the sense that he is training, but at the same time, if he's not 100%, he's not going to play. A few of the journalists did talk about his performance in the Super Cup and how amazing that was and how great he's going to be if he was to come back and play against Liverpool. And Frank understands that and understands the impact that Kante had, and he was saying that it was a phenomenal performance against Liverpool. He still had the injury at that time and pretty much had no pre-season prior to that, so understands what a phenomenal, amazing player this guy is. But at the same time, he's had too many injuries in recent times, so he doesn't want to risk him as well. And once again, as a Chelsea fan point of view, don't want him to be risked at all for this match. If he's not 100% fit, then we don't need him to be on. Rather have him 100, fully fit, and then we've got a long season to go. Callum Hudson-Odoi talked about Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he said, as soon as he entered the club, he spoke to Callum Hudson-Odoi and told him exactly what he wants, and he said that he definitely wants him. He sees him being a massive part of this club. And he told his intention straight up to Callum that, he needs him. So from there on, I suppose, all sorts of negotiations and whatnot, whatever else happened. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't really like how it sort of dragged on, but nonetheless, it's all done, and really, really delighted. And Frank was just basically saying that, all the hard work starts now. He's got great reference to look at in the likes of Tammy, Mount, Tomori. So, he's definitely going to get a chance if he's good enough. And if he's good enough, he's definitely going to get a prolonged chance as well and, cement his place in the team. Lastly, the point that really, really struck me in the press conference was the reference about social media, and specifically football Twitter, and how, they are trying their best to basically, to see how to stop the abuse and whatnot. Recently, that was towards Tammy, and not just Tammy. There's been many other players that's been abused in social media, and Frank was basically saying that, it shouldn't be that easy for people to just go in and hide behind, fake images and just write whatever the crap that they write about players. So, which is true. So all the people out there, here's a message for you guys that, if you're going to go out and abuse and you're going to hide behind different AVIs and whatnot, that's just so gutless. That's so, stupid. First of all, don't do it. And if you are going to do it, show your face and do it. So, that's the message from there. Lastly, now, onto the fun part. My expectation, my the way I think we're going to play against Liverpool. Look, it's going to be a very, very difficult game. Obviously, Liverpool haven't lost in the Premier League yet, and they're a high top class quality team with world class players across the board. I just hope that we are far more consistent. This trend of playing one good game, one bad game, one good game, and if we continue, obviously we lined up to play a good game now because we've had a bad game against Valencia, which things like we might have a good game against Liverpool, but nonetheless, look, we need to be a lot more consistent. Lapse of concentration's got to go away. We seem to be very good in long parts of the game, but then that lapse of concentration just kills us. So we've got to be in the game for 90 plus minutes here. Midfield, defense, forwards, all got to sync together, and they've all got to stay concentrated together. And this is where we need strong leadership from Azpilicueta and really, really get the boys to be focused all the time throughout the match. We're going to have to be with the high quality team that we're going to come against. Moving forward, we need to be clinical. I don't know how many chances we're going to get with a great team like Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk and the likes of their fullbacks and whatnot. Whenever we get the chance, we have to put it away, just like we did in Super Cup with Giroud and later on with the penalty with Jorginho. We need to be putting this away, and then we need to be solid at the back for the front three. There was a reference in the press conference in regards to how's Tammy going to cope with Virgil van Dijk, and how's Tomori going to cope with Liverpool's front three. Well, this is their biggest challenge. So they've been playing great, and this is a fantastic challenge for them, and they need to take this on head on. So hopefully they don't get overwhelmed by it, and hopefully they really learn from it and they do a good performance for us. We need it. My expectation for the game, I don't know how we're going to win this, looking at our performances lately, but then again, Liverpool just came off a loss, so maybe it's the perfect time to play against them now. But look, if we get a draw, that's going to make me happy, to be honest. At least if we can get a draw. Hopefully we don't lose. If we lose, that's just going to devastate me again. If we win, wow, that's just going to be ecstatic, and I'm just going to be over the moon. I'm thinking it might be once again like a 1-1 or a 2-2, but hoping that we can sneak a 2-1 or I don't know, 3-2, but that's just too much of a wild game. But yeah, 2-1 perhaps, 1-0. I don't know how we keep a clean sheet against Liverpool's front three, but Napoli has shown that it can be done. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Please let me know your comments. Like, retweet, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, leave comments in my YouTube channel, and I'm definitely gonna come back and we can have a good discussion. See ya.